Alright, yeah, and welcome back to some more Magic Duels with, is it Drake Prowess deck. So if you want to see the matches, stick around. Let's get into them. I'll see you there. Alright, we're in and we're on the play. We have one land and it is a tap land. I don't think we can safely take this hand. 3 lands, Fevered Visions, depending on the matchup, that's okay. Cantrip, Pump Spell, and a Geists on turn 4. It's a little slow. I think we can take it. We just need to hope that Fevered Visions is good enough in this matchup. If it's a control matchup, then it's great. If it's just any kind of slow, mid-range, grindy deck, then Fevered Visions also works there as well. Ooh, red is never a good sign for Fevered Visions. Take inventory, so we can cantrip that away. So we'll play a blue source, we'll play take inventory. We will get a redraw. That's an instant in our graveyard for the Drake. And we get another Geists. We need another land drop before we can cast any of them. But if this lands on turn 4, then turn 5 we can actually use it to hit for maybe 7, maybe even more than that. Okay, it's green-red. I feel a little bit more confident about dropping Fevered Visions now. You might just have a Reclamation Sage, so you know. Insult's pretty good. In fact, if we hit our land drop for the Geists, that could be lethal in no time. Play Fevered Visions. Hope to get a land off the top with this on our end step. Come on, land drop. Not a land drop, but a fling also kind of works in a way. We still need to hit a land drop though, otherwise we're doing nothing. We can use Expedite to cantrip if we don't hit our land drop. But that likely means that we don't do anything next turn if we're forced into that action. Right, they draw a card, they take 2. Hey, there we go. Right, let's play Geists and see if we can win next turn. So if we hit a land drop, let's say, have you got an answer for this? Maybe? A 1 mana burn spell? Galvanic Bombardments for 2. I don't think they calculated that one properly. Okay, so let's not count the Geists just yet. If we Expedite, Rush of Adrenaline, and Titan Strength. Ah, there you go. There's the third one. Well, we have a backup one. And it cost them a wasted bombardment. But we could pump up for 5 there. And then every single card that we cast on the Geists would have pumped it by 9. Which is pretty sweet. Well, lucky for us, we're only taking 2. These guys can't attack unless they need a creature with power 4 or greater, which does mean that we have to cast a spell every turn to make sure that doesn't happen. Opponent draws a card, takes 2 down to 16. We get a Thing in the Ice. Not change anything. Thing in the Ice plus Expedite for a cantrip. Takes him to 3 counters. And then we just need to hope we get something good off the top. Nah, I think we'll just still play the Geists. The Geist has almost a guaranteed chance to kill if it doesn't die here. We draw a card. And it's another 1 mana spell, which is awesome. It's a shock as well. So that's an extra 5 damage if the Geist survives. So, can we win? Waxing Moon. Transform up to 1 werewolf. And it gets trample. Sure. That does mean everything can attack now. which is fine. I'm not going to block because I think we can win on the swing back. Okay, we go down to 9. Plays a Forge Master. And draws a card and doesn't take damage. Right. Cast 2 spells, so that one goes back. He's back to not being able to attack him with them again. We hit an island. Okay, so we're going to Titan Strength the Geists. Scry, trigger. Then can Expedite. Cantrip the Titan Strength. So that goes up to 10. Yeah, I think we've got it. Expedite. We can actually swing for 10 and fling it at our opponent as well. And even if it doesn't die, we only take 4 next turn unless he's got another Waxing Moon. Let's see if this lands. It does. So, fling our opponent, sacking that, 10 damage to you, unpreventable, we win. We had him dead in combat tricks as well, which is pretty sweet. Anything in the ice we could flip in no time at all to reset his board state. Alright, let's go on to the next game. Alright, we're in. We've got 3 lands, we've got another Geist, we know how well that worked out, and 2 pump spells for it and even a fling. It's risky, but I can keep it. I'm pretty sure. We'll lead off with the mountain in case we want to cantrip this Expedite. Point it at one of his creatures on his end step if he ever gets to that point. He's with green though, so likely to be a slow deck, which is good for us. Likely to not have too much removal for our creatures, which is good for us. He's probably not mono green though. Maybe an island coming out here. I don't know. Sylvan Advocate. Okay then. We get another Expedite. So I think we might as well cantrip one here, just in case. We want to be able to hit that 4th mana. And Telling Time's going to allow us to do that, probably. So we can get the Geists down next turn. Turn after that, pump them like crazy. Okay, taking 2. And we will Telling Time, looking for that land drop. And we get it. Sweet. Even a rush of adrenaline, we'll take that. Alright, we'll play the mountain and the Geists. Could really do with another red source. Because another land means double Titan Strength, swing, fling, win. Black and white is actually Abzan. There's a Fevered Visions. Well, we can't fling if we drew... Well, we can't fling for the win if we drew a land off of the Expedite. We can Titan Strength, hit for 7. Expedite, because we'll scry a red source to the top if we find one. Expedite to draw it, which is 10. And that would be the win. Okay, so, Titan Strength. Look for a red source. Red source for the win. Oh, yes. Expedite. Takes it up to 10. Play the red source. Swing for 10. And then fling at our opponent for the win. It's maybe the quickest game I've ever had. Beautiful. Alright, your draws don't get much better than that, I don't think. But let's go on for one more game. Alright, we've got ourselves an Enigma Drake and a Geist, 2 lands and a couple of cantrips. I think we can take this. We're also on the draw as well, so if we get that 3rd land, then we are in a nice little sweet spot as long as our opponent doesn't have an answer to the Drake and isn't too aggressive. My guess is with an Evolving Wilds, they're not going to be aggressive enough. Gonna pass, not gonna tell us what's underneath that Evolving Wilds. Stormchaser Mage. Alright, well, there's something to pass the time while we wait for our 3rd land, I suppose. Not even gonna crack it, they must be low on lands in hand. Another green source. I'm gonna crack it now though. So I anticipate they've got a turn 3 play for 3 mana. Just probably going to tap them out. Ah, Nananum Renegade as well. Makes sense. Okay, I'm going to cantrip one of these Expedites away. Give it haste. Telling time. Okay. And there's our land drop. So we get to go Stormchaser Mage. Swing for 1 and then pass the turn. Hello, thank you. Okay. So we're not doing a catastrophic amount of damage by any stretch at the moment. But I'm sure we'll be able to do something eventually. Swinging for 2. So this is like green-black Revolt then. Which is a relatively slow deck, but it can also be quite aggressive as well. There are a lot of 2-drops that come out as like 4/3s and stuff like that. Gather the pack to look for said things. Implement a Ferocity. Triggers Revolt. Hit a lot of lands though, so... You can only take creatures with this, can't you? Yep. Mills absolutely everything. Well, if they've got Delirium in here, they've got Sorcery, Land and Artifact. So they got that going for them. But we're going to play our land, we're going to Enigma Drake. And we'll get in with our Stormchaser Mage. We've got Fatal Push mana open, but they need to trigger Revolt in order to kill the Drake. Right now the Drake is obviously not really threatening at all. But they could save a removal spell for it later down the line, I suppose. Getting in for 2 again. Yep, we're officially on par with you on that. As long as our Drake sticks around, we should be able to do a fair bit more damage. Turn 3 is a Stalwart thing that gets counters. This might actually just be green-black counters then. And a Geists. Oh, we could get so greedy. If we played an island and we Geist, then next turn an Expedite is worth 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Plus the telling time, which is 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Greedy. Greedy play. Do we take it? They got double black. They've got green, green, and green by the looks of things. Black and 2 green. If they had a land into a Languish, it would hurt a lot. So I'm thinking maybe we don't take that risk. Let's telling time. Prowess trigger for the Storm Chaser Mage. We get to expedite the top card off of the top of our library if it's good. It's another Geists. Now I wish I had have gone for it. Well. And then... do I Titan Strength? There's an extra 4/5. Yeah, let's do it. Pretty much scrying to the top, I think, unless we want to try go for lethal next turn. Yeah, let's try go for lethal next turn. Swing for 9. So we want the top card to be something like an insult. And then we've got the Expedite for an extra Prowess trigger plus an extra instant in the graveyard for the Drake. Without removal, our opponent's dead in no time at all. We're hitting for 4 a turn now. So they need answers. Plus, of course, if our opponent goes for a removal spell later down the line, once we've untapped, we've got Fling open to throw whatever he tries to remove back at him. If it's relevant. Walking Ballista, X1. So this is green-black counters, but we're not going to see much of it. Be dead in no time. Still got that Fatal Push open though. You can actually sack that to trigger Revolt on the Fatal Push. So if I take inventory, I'm going to try get as close to lethal. Oh my god, a third Fling. Because our opponent's probably going to crack the Walking Ballista, take us to 11. Fatal Push. In response, we're going to Fling our Drake at him. The greedier plays to try Expedite, but that falls flat if we don't hit a land, so it's just not worth the risk. Let's hit for 6. So yeah, he does have the Fatal Push in hand. Points 1 at us. Fatal Push on the Drake. We're going to fling the Drake at him. Pumping up the Storm Chaser Mage. Hits for 4, hits for another 3. He's down to 2. We have lethal on board. Is it going to be another turn 5 win? Is this turn 5? I think it's turn 5. Nope. He has not got an answer. Hits for 4. And another Stalwart. Taps him out. That is a concession from our AI. So Expedite, trigger Prowess, draw a card. Rush of Adrenaline for that added little bonus, but we don't need to do it. We're just going to get in with our Storm Chaser Mage for victory. Alright guys, that's going to do it for today's episode. So if you did enjoy the content, then you can like and subscribe to show your support. It means so much right now, especially in the wake of the news with Magic Duels. If you are interested in seeing more matchups with this deck as well, I do offer for $1 on Patreon access to some additional videos on every deck that I play as well. So a video will come out tomorrow for this deck if you are interested in checking that out. And I'm also going to add a few extra incentives to that as well. So when we start playing Gwent, I'll be doing the same sort of thing as well. So extra added value. Anyway guys, it's completely optional though, so you don't have to do it if you don't want to. And like and subscribe, don't forget to hit that little bell icon right next to the subscription button, and that'll give you notifications when the next videos go live. I do hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.